onto the podium, as does Amanda Barnhart.
Yep.
Plenty to be decided over these final two events, as the women for the second and the final heat are on the field. They will take some time to just make sure the ring height is correct before we start the goblet presented by GoRuck.
And this event at this point in this test is grueling. We saw it on the men's side. We saw the first heat of women. No one to finish. It's 7 rounds of 7 ring muscle ups, 1 hill sprint, and 11 goblet squats at 62 pounds, which a lot of people, they're going to look and say, no big deal, but boy, can that take it out of you.
No woman in heat number 1 was able to finish this event inside the 15-minute time cap. Laura Horvath in the middle of your screen had a great events 3 through 7. She won 4 straight, the first time anyone has ever done that. She finished second in event 7, and she needed to pile up those points and build that cushion because she saw it almost disappear in event 8 when she took 19th place overall. And Laura Horvath should like this event a lot more than she liked the last one.
Tremendously, Sean. She's shown throughout her course of a career that she does well with hanging and pulling. Of course, her background as a climber is going to play into that, but I also expect her to be extremely hungry. After coming off a setback of a event like the last one, she needs these points. She could definitely be someone that comes out and gets 100 points right here in this event.
If someone in this heat is able to finish the event, they will win 100 points, obviously if they finish ahead of everybody else in the heat. So Laura Horvath is out towards the front here along with Danielle Brandon. There's Emma Lawson right next to Annie Thorstadter. Thorstadter gaining some ground now on Lawson in the opening stages of the second and final heat. First of 7 rounds here.
Yeah, and I really like how, again, it showed Annie took a bit of a surge just prior to that hill. I think it can save some energy in your legs. Using momentum, we see it in Brandon now too. Use the hill's momentum. Use that downgrade to help you build speed. Don't resist it as you come down. And then just glide across the flat to get to that kettlebell.
Matilda Garns on the left side of your screen. She's down in lane 1. She's towards the front too. So it's Garns, Brandon, Horvath, Thorstadter, and Lawson all to the kettlebell first. And then Alexis Raptis in lane 2, right behind them. Annie Thorstadter looking to finish on the podium once again here at the Rogue Invitational in her first individual appearance since taking second at this competition in 2021. Matilda Garns is done first, followed by Danielle Brandon and Laura Horvath. Lawson and Thorstadter finished as well as they head back to the rings to begin round 2 of 7. Thorstadter taking a little time to gather herself before she starts this set. Horvath and Lawson got right to work. There is Gabby McGowan in lane 5. McGowan falling off the pace early here. She came in 3rd place overall, trying to hold off Emma Lawson.
Something I think about, although it's not present in this particular test, rope climbs. Upper body pulling strength. We know that Gabby McGowan has struggled with that throughout the semifinal season last year and into even events like the one that we saw yesterday. And we know that that's a strength for Horvath and a couple other of these ladies in this particular heat. So she just probably has an understanding. It's no need for me to get there too soon because I'm already going to have to break these up and I'm already going to have to manage fatigue.
McGowan takes a break. Amanda Barnhart just finished her second set of ring muscle-ups as Danielle Brandon and Matilda Garns are working their ways back. And Laura Horvath and Emma Lawson behind them. It's Brandon, then Garns, Lawson, and Horvath in 4th, but Horvath ahead of Annie Thorstadter right now.
Again, a lot like we saw in that earlier heat. Does the pace that these athletes are setting now matter? Yes, but it also is not a direct correlation to what we're going to see in the 4 rounds to come. So who is pacing it appropriately for themselves to build speed and build momentum.
42 reps is where the athletes need to get to close out round 2. Danielle Brandon is done. Emma Lawson is done, as is Matilda Garnes, and now Laura Horvath finishing up. They are now into round 3 of 7. 7 more ring muscle-ups. Brandon and Garnes got right to work, as did Emma Lawson. There was Laura Horvath. Annie Thorisdottir walking back to the rings.
This is one of those workouts for even Emma Lawson, as we see her executing her ring muscle-ups right there beside Annie. She can seize the moment here and find herself back into the top 3 with a solid finish in this event, only being 20 points removed from Gabby Magawa.
Matilda Garnes and Emma Lawson are done. They're your top 2 in the heat. Now Danielle Brandon is in 3rd, and Laura Horvath will be the 4th woman to head back to the hill. Annie Thorisdottir is leaning over, breaking her muscle ups on this 3rd set. And now she is done. So Thorisdottir falling behind the lead packer as Laura Horvath is trotting up that hill, and now she's down to a walk.
For Laura, she's probably thinking, where's Annie? Where's Gabby? If Gabby's an afterthought, now she's going to really be focusing on Annie's pacing and staying just ahead of her.
Gabby Magawa continues to break up these muscle-ups, and she is in 10th place right now in the heat. So very much in danger of falling out of the top 3 heading into the final event. Danielle Brandon and Matilda Garnes are on to the goblet squats for their 3rd set of 11. Emma Lawson there as well in the white top and gray shorts. And here comes overall leader Laura Horvath to begin her set. Annie Thorisdottir coming back. So she is keeping Horvath within reach, is Thorisdottir.
And we watched Annie execute a ring muscle up. She broke her setup already. Laura went unbroken on the last round. I'm anticipating that we'll start to see Laura break hers up here soon, and not necessarily due to the hang and pulling, but it looked like her dips could have been starting to fatigue a bit, which again is another press movement that's going to be strongly correlated to what we saw earlier in that handstand push-up.
Matilda Garnes and Danielle Brandon, along with Emma Lawson, are your leaders. Lawson coming in 4th place with 530 points. She's got to make up 20 points on Magawa to get into 3rd, 70 points on Horvath, and 55 points on Annie Thorisdottir to get into 2nd. And Emma Lawson is now your leader in the heat. See her in the background getting to the very bottom of that hill ahead of Matilda Garnes.
Great adjustment here by Horvath on her ring muscle-ups. There's a pause now in her transition, and what she does is redirects her legs to allow a kip and a drive of the knees to help her with the lockout. Really great adaptation and great self-awareness there.
Emma Lawson continues to lead as Matilda Garnes is down to a walk up the hill. There goes Laura Horvath, now in 3rd. Cara Saunders has moved up into 4th. There is Saunders on the far side. Emma Lawson now back to the kettlebell for the 4th time. Horvath and Saunders making the turn and heading back down. Cara Saunders 10th place overall. Not a threat right now to Laura Horvath.
Laura was able to also create some more separation between her and Annie on that as they literally just passed one another. Laura approaching the running under that Zeus again for her next set of goblet squats coming up here. And that's got to be something that helps her feel a bit more at ease with her placing so far in this heat.
There goes Annie Thorisdottir. Emma Lawson, meanwhile, has finished her 4th round. She is your leader. Matilda Garnes sits in 2nd. Garnes is done with round 4. And there is Laura Horvath on her 4th set of 11 kettlebell squats at 62 pounds. Horvath in third place now in the heat, but only about a couple rep lead over Cara Saunders.
Emma Lawson back there in the background making short work of her ring muscle-ups, catching every rep fairly high. She's already taken off on her run, looking smooth and composed.
Emma Lawson won event 2, ski bar. She got through every single rep, was just not able to get across the finish line. And we may be looking at another event where nobody finishes, and it's the athlete who gets the farthest who's going to wind up with the win. Emma Lawson and Matilda Garnes out front, but Lawson, is really putting some distance between herself and Matilda Garnes. Matilda Garnes on the way up that hill is hands on her legs, leaning forward, really laboring to get to the top. There goes Laura Horvath, who sits in third. Cara Saunders, though, has passed her, so Saunders has moved into third place. Horvath holding steady in fourth.
Cara executing smoothly so far, really started smooth. Again, kind of out of the conversation as a leader in this particular heat, but here she is, another athlete that has great ability to, acknowledge how they feel, where they're at in the course, not just through this event, but also through the weekend, and just managing her pace based off of that, which is right now playing to her favor.
Emma Lawson done with 5 rounds to remain. Annie Thorstadter has fallen back into 7th place in this heat. Now, this is big for Laura Horvath, because Horvath only had a 15-point lead on Thorstadter coming into this event. There goes Annie, as Laura Horvath is walking back to the kettlebell to close out round 5. And this is one where times from and scores from heat number 1 are certainly going to be a factor. But Laura Horvath right now staying ahead of the woman she needs to beat, and that's Annie Thorstadter.
Yeah, and she's doing a great job, specifically as we watch her make her way back to the rings. I am thoroughly impressed with her ability to navigate fatigue and what would create a need to break up this set for most athletes. She pauses, she waits, she redirects her legs, and it allows her to stay up there unbroken. And it has so far, and it's already paid off. Even between the race that we earlier saw between her and Danielle Brandon, she's now at least 1 spot up on her. And of course, every point matters, as we discussed throughout the course of this weekend.
Annie Thorstadter to the kettlebell to close out round 5. Emma Lawson and Matilda Garnes continue to lead, as Emma Lawson is coming back to the kettlebell for the 6th time. She's on the right side of your screen in that white top, as Laura Horvath is on her 6th set of 7 muscle-ups.
And notice how all of our ring muscle-ups have a traditional momentum, and then she changed it right there. About 3 reps to go in each of the last 3 rounds. In order to show that lockout at the top, she pauses, she drives her knees up, and allows her body to get to that lockout using the momentum of her lower body. It's a great way for her to, again, establish her placing right now in this heat where she sits.
Laura Horvath off once again for the 6th time, as Emma Lawson gets closer to finishing this event inside the time cap. A little more than 3 minutes to go for Emma Lawson. She is through 6 of the 7 rounds.
And what we're seeing right now from Emma is just extremely impressive, being, the youngest competitor out there on the floor, or the second to youngest now that we've got a young Olivia Kerstetter out there. I can't forget about the 16-year-old Sean, but the self-awareness and the ability to pace, her gymnastics capacity is certainly impressive for an athlete that is so young in our sport.
Well, Emma Lawson came in 4th place overall with 530 points, and she only trailed Gabby Magawa by 20. She is definitely going to make up that deficit here and look to put herself into a podium spot with just 1 event remaining. Lawson has a chance of finishing this event if she can hurry. And Gabby McGowan continuing to struggle on those muscle ups. She has just started round 5. Annie Thorisdottir trying to move up the standings here in this heat. She is in round 5 as well, or round 6 now.
And you watched Annie just make a veteran move. She looked up at the screen, she checked what time it was, and she immediately picked up the pace of her run. She understands that as time wanes away, every rep is going to lend itself to her advantage. She's got to get back to the kettlebell and get some work done.
And Emma Lawson, to win this event, has got to get back to the kettlebells. Has plenty of time, 40 seconds to go. So Emma Lawson looking at her second event win of the competition. No one even close to her right now. So as long as she just gets a rep or 2 in, that's some insurance for Emma Lawson. "20 seconds to go. And Lawson does not need to finish. She's already the leader. She just has to amass some insurance reps here in case Matilda Garns suddenly finds a 7th gear. And Emma Lawson, for the second time in this competition, is going to get every rep in, just not across the finish line. Second event win, and will be inside the top 3.
What a great showing there by Emma Lawson. Impressive.
Only trailed McGowan by 20 points. She was 55 points back of Annie Thorisdottir. Now, depending on some of those scores from the prior heat, she could be really close to Annie for second. Now, Laura Horvath is going to pick up points on Thorisdottir. It's just a matter of how many. She will be the overall leader heading into the 10th and final event. Gabby McGowan is going to find herself outside the top 3 after finishing towards the back of the pack in that second and final heat. And Annie Thorisdottir is going to have some work to do if she wants to hold off 17-year-old Emma Lawson. So unofficial results, it's Emma Lawson who is going to win the event as she completes all the work, just doesn't get across the finish line. 2 times from heat 1 will be second and third, Anganese and McQuaid, followed by Matilda Garns, Cara Saunders. Laura Horvath is going to take 7th. That'll be good enough for 70 points for her. And we will have to see where Thorisdottir and McGowan finished to figure out what those points are going to look like. So Thorisdottir is going to take 11th. So unofficially, Horvath is going to pick up 20 points on her. McGowan finishes 15th. She'll get 30 points. So Emma Lawson well ahead of her. And Lawson's going to pick up 50 points on Thorisdottir as well.